Warning, this video may contain spoilers for late parts in the game. If you plan on playing this at some point, turn back now. You have been warned. Welcome everyone to an absolute shit show of a game in the Nickelodeon vaults. If there's anyone with nostalgia for this game or even the show, I'm sorry, but you're going to be heavily disappointed in this review and game, as I start really getting into it. But essentially, this is the game to skip, as almost everything about the game is absolutely horrendous, as I'll get into more in the cons section. For now, let's get to the very bare basics. Alright, in this game you control Timmy Turner with only a couple buttons used in the game. I should also mention now that I played the GameCube version, don't know if that really matters. Your basic jumping is the A button, and surprisingly you can double jump in this game, though it's possibly one of the shittiest double jumps I've ever seen because you barely get any airtime. You control the camera with the C-stick, but sometimes it just does whatever the hell it wants, and I know my controller is broken and it's on the C-stick, or what I use for the C-stick anyways, but Jesus, every 5 seconds it will just move around or get stuck on objects for some weird reason, usually leading to a loss of a try, which are just lives in this game. You start every level with 3 tries and 3 little health circles, and tries in this game are pretty literal, as trying and failing to make a jump or getting caught in certain segments will lose a whole life, and minor damage will lose health, though sometimes this line blurs a little. You can find extra tries in various places, and you can collect little stars, finding 100, giving you an extra try as well, though these don't carry over between levels. Your main goal of each level is to find 5 wish stars to get enough power to make a wish. I'll explain more on this in the story section, to advance further in the levels. This usually gives you an extra ability that can only be used in that segment by pressing the B button. You actually need to find 15 wish stars total in each level, but 5 lets you advance to finding the next stars, so it's pretty monotonous. The only collectibles in the game are incredibly straightforward, being crimson chin cards, and there are only 1 or 2 kind of missable ones in the game. All they really do is unlock some videos in the main menu from the TV show. Oh yeah, you can call Wanda and Cosmo by pressing R for some incredibly useless tips. I'm not going to go into what happens in every single level, as most take inspiration from the show, though it acts like Timmy has never met certain characters before. Sometimes he kind of knows, so this is like a separate universe from the show weirdly. We start off with Timmy's parents going on a weekend vacation, leaving him with his babysitter Vicky, we all know is a horrible person. For some reason, he asks Wanda and Cosmo to stall her, prompting them to explain that normal people aren't allowed to see them, stated in the rules. This causes Timmy to accidentally wish that they didn't have to follow the rules, causing them to break somehow, and whoever touches the book next will get Wanda and Cosmo's wish powers. Vicky is the first one to pick up the book, though she doesn't really understand what happened, so throughout the game she casually wishes stuff to happen, and it does, though she is weirdly none the wiser when it does happen. Before that though, the 3 get sent to Fairy Court, where they're told that if they aren't able to retrieve the pages of the rules within 48 hours, they'll lose their powers completely. Every time Timmy gets 5 stars in a level, there is a page of the rules on the wish space conveniently, and by the end he retrieves all but 1 page, being the table of contents, in which the Fairy Court orders him to do one final challenge, called the Ultimate Challenge. Vicky is summoned to the fairy place, and Jorgen explains that her memory will be wiped after, and turns her into a dragon, stating that Timmy needs to get her to say, "I wish I never took the book from Timmy." Timmy gets her to smash buttons that make her say just that, and Timmy fixes the book and all his problems, though Vicky once again almost grabs the book at the very end, but Timmy's parents come home from their vacation and the day is saved. My literally only one pro for this game is that the gameplay isn't absolutely horrible. That being said, pretty much everything else is. The collectibles are way too easily found, leaving no point to exploration except extra tries, but is still barely worth it, especially since the levels are so big in the first place. There's a lot of areas that just don't have anything in them. The cutscenes are absolutely horrendous. The audio quality is completely fucked. Most level designs are pretty awful, and dear god, the animation quality. I know I can't make games or anything, but Tak and the Power of Juju came out around the same-ish time as this game, even being made by partially the same developers, THQ, and this was absolutely awful comparatively, considering many of the other Nickelodeon games were fairly good. This is probably one of the messiest games I've played and reviewed so far, but I'm sure there will be a lot more in the future when I start running out of games to review or something like that. Hope you enjoyed and see you next video.